it and it cut him across the floor of that table and he don't make me stick it plaster all over. But as you say, that ball used to get very, very heavy.
Oh God, yeah.
There's not many of those about now.
And then of course your boots were different.
Well, I mean,
studs or bars according to the state of the
Really
speech.
well, yeah, we studied. We used to top them when we, really top the studs really, and then and if we were playing away from home, we just took it, whipped it off according to the ground. But I mean, the actual boots we wore, even as us, it took us 6 months to break them in.
Yeah.
And you never.
How many weeks of blisters did you go through?
Well, you didn't. You had bare feet, and you covered your feet with soap. And you put the shoes on, and you stood in water, and you did a few runs around the track. And this went on really for a long while. In fact, you never got into those boots to play for 6 months. When you consider what today, I mean, sort of you buy them and you're in them and you play. You never did that.
That's different today, aren't they?
Incredible.
They're like ankle boots, really are. There's no protection much for the ankle, is there?
Not today.
It doesn't come out you miss, isn't it?
You know like it is today when they go to the ball,
I don't know when
There's a thing in here that mentions you, it says, Gentleman Duffy, taking everything, we're saying, well done lads, and
I just wondered that, because after the war, I don't know when anybody could go. Anybody's got after the war programme at Wembley. Because
I got the win at the Burnley.
Because I'm on the front page.
Oh, that must have been the Derby match.
No, it was the Chelsea game in wartime. They put on the after the war programme.
Oh yeah.
And I
only got the Burnley programme.
Pretty old programme.
Yeah, I played every round by the final at that time. I've got the cup final medal for that because I missed both of them 2 years running. I played against Derby the week before they played Derby at final. I scored 2 goals and done my ankle. And the next year I played every round by the final. That was a semi-final at Leeds when we won 4-0.
That's right. Yeah.
And on Wednesday went down to Brighton for training, and I had a bit of a dodgy knee there, and Sam threw me a ball, and I turned around quickly with it. And it went again.
Yeah.
Sick as a dog.
Oh. So you missed the Derby final. I was there, and I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember whether you played or not in that one.
No, I missed both of them through injury.
Oh. Yeah,
I played the 2 in wartime, which was against the Arsenal. That was 96,000 there, didn't you know?
96,000.
Yeah.
You don't hear much about the wartime finals, do you?
And Chelsea, when we beat Chelsea, was 96,000 as well. I got 2 goals in that match.
What cup did they play?
That was the London Cup. And then we played Aston Villa in North East South.
Yeah.
What date was that?
May the 2nd, 1947. This is about
Well, I've got a programme here. You can work it out actually because I played in wartime as well.
Yeah.
In the Kent League, you used to get a programme and I didn't really use.
In wartime, this is Cheltenham. This is only Cheltenham. I haven't got a lot. All my cuttings have actually gone to my grandchildren.
Yeah.
And my cut final medal is in. I think it's gone there as well. That was it. I think that was the dinner at one of the old dinner there. You might find all the photographs of all on one of these. I think that all the players that played in that. That's at the back there. In the
signatures. Is this done by the same?
I don't know. Most probably. Jordan was always drunk.
Jordan, yeah, Sid Jordan.
Sid Jordan.
Oh, this is Harold Gittins.
Is that Gittins? Was it?
Yeah. Similar stuff.
Who was the centre forward when you was in the team then? Charlie Ball?
Well, they varied, didn't they? Really?
That's a many.
That was one that went on the front.
Archie that came from suddenly came to him from Swansea.
Pierce, yeah.
This
The
was
week before he scored 2 goals against
Wembley.
Chelsea.
That's right, yeah, and they signed him, didn't they?
That was on the front of
It was good, yeah.
of the programmes that we were when I first in the Burnley game after the war.
That was what, 44?
That was 44. That one, yeah.
So how different was the team in 46?
Pardon?
How different was the team in 46?
Well, it was strange because there were still a lot of players in that side.
Yeah.
I've got just to remember some of the players.
That was the late edition one that was taken, Ray Sinclair, actually.
Yeah.
I might remember that.
Johnny Mitchell, remember him?
I was down the club yesterday, down at their training ground
in
Sparrows Lane.
Yeah.
And I met Steve Sutherland, the new commercial assistant. And they've got like exhibition on down there of bits and bobs. And
They have it still. They're still on show, aren't they?
yeah, well, there's, I mean, even there's a lot of letters came out of the arguments of the Football Association about the wages for the players and the pre-war wages and the
Well, I've got a book funny enough in here about pre-war. I don't know where I left it at home, that one. Oh, there it is. If you read that, you can read that summary of that one.
Yeah.
And that was only the Cheltenham games. In 2 years and 7 months, I scored 79 goals for them.
2 years and 7 months.
Yeah, and at the same time I played with Chelsea, because he was being in the 40s, you know, you were away. I had Chelsea, Wrexham, Bury, Birmingham. You know, and in that same time of 2 years, 9 months, I added another 56 goals on that.
There you go, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's about 130 goals in 3 years.
Yeah.
That's a lot of goals.
Yeah, I should say so, yeah.
But they said, you didn't play against anybody, you know. I said, well, if you took Aldershot, the half-back line, Frank Swift was in goal.
Best team in the country.
Yeah, the whole half-back line was Cullis, you know, Mercer, Busby, Cullis. That was a half-back line.
Yeah.
Frankie Swift was in goal, you know.
He didn't play against everybody.
No, he didn't. Bert was the name. Centre forward was Tommy Lawton, wasn't it? Ronnie Dix was inside left, you know. Burbanks was outside left. You know, they almost blew in the whole international time,
Yes.
you know. And I was still hitting that tricks against these. They said, well, you didn't play against them. You know?
You talk about Frank Swift. If I remember right, it wasn't he the chap that got that very big hand, and he could put his hand down and pick a ball up like that, and he just...
Well, I was telling somebody the other day, I was playing for Bury.
Terrific play.
I played for Bury against them. I didn't play for Bury on Christmas Day. I played for Cheltenham at Brighton. This shows how I travelled up and down.
Yeah.
I had a hat-trick at Brighton, and I wouldn't stay and play against somebody up here on the Christmas, because Bury got beaten by Manchester City and United up there. And they were playing a replay again at Main Road, because it's where United played at Main. You know?
Oh yes, that's right. Yes,
and Frankie Swift was in goal up there, you know. And this is true as it was under there. Little boy named Carter played inside right up for Bury. So I said, change places. I said, well, Swifty always puts his hat down in that bloody right corner just before you kick off, you know. So you know, and the whistle went. He pushed it. I said, push it forward, and I hit it, and it went as true as a straight, right in the left-hand corner. Frankie's putting his hat down in this bloody corner, and the ball's going in the net. It's true. It's a true story. And I don't know how quick that ball travelled from where I hit it to the goal, but it must have been 4 seconds, no more. You know, and the bloody ball in the net, and you could have had another million shots and never even went near it.
That's right. Yeah.
No. I hit a hat trick that day.
Yeah.
A hat tricks I got in galore. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I know.
But I think it was all because I was at Tottenham first. I started at Tottenham in 1936, and I think it was some of the finest club. It was a terrible club to be at financially wise. You know, they were always a very mean club. Yeah, but for training wise, and I think they were the best club I was ever at.
They took over. They took over Northfleet.
Well, I was a Northfleet. I went there as a Northfleet boy. In fact, in my same side when I went there was.
Is that true? That story?
Yes. Yeah, 13 goals in one game. And that was only half time. Yeah. That was 13 goals in one game. That's true, that. In fact, I hit another 11 in one game and didn't go on second half. And it's true of the story. If Billy Little was here at Liverpool, I played in a rap with him, and we played against other things, you know. And we played against this team, and we won 14, and I scored 14 goals. This is true. And they said, well, we're playing against the other department. There was an Air Force unit, and there was about 2,000 strong, you know. And said, well, we're playing against. He said, well, you won't beat 14, Charlie. And I hit 15. And that is the gospel true. That was 29 goals in 2 games. I must have every ball I hit went in the net. And Billy Little played outside left, and I mean he was a Scottish international, didn't get any goals at all. Bill, that was a true story, Ben.
Can I get on a cup of tea?
Yeah, can I?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, I'll have a cup of tea.
That's
You want a cup of tea, Bill?
No, I won't have one. Thanks.
Sure.
No, yeah, I want
Your one, sugar.
This is our wool-off we
Just
worked
like
for
the
Kit after the
three
war.
Oh,
Have a sugar, sure. This one.
Harold.
He's down at Eastbourne.
I was in this
Is he still alive? Harold?
Yeah, he's down at Eastbourne. He
Oh,
does a
there's
bit of
someone
car.
there
I can tell you where most people are. I've got a list of where those people, and a lot of them are dead.
What about Phipps?
Howard's still at Croydon.
Oh, is he connected
He was
with
in the
football?
army? No, nothing.
He was in the army,
Yeah,
that's right,
yeah.
yes.
And Charlie Vaughan, he had a heart attack a few years ago, and he just packed up with football altogether, and he didn't even leave his house for about 18 months. But he was a queer boy, really, funny boy.
Was he?
Yeah, queer, but I mean in the main.
Yeah, I know what
He was a funny boy, really. You know,
a loner back.
he was a real loner.
Yeah.
If he went away, he'd sit on his own somewhere, you know.
Go on.
Never join in.
He's still alive, though, is he?
Yeah, well, as far as I know.
Bert Johnson.
Well, Bert's still alive. He was up near Walsall.
Go on.
Right there. Don's still alive. He wouldn't come down.
Don Welsh?
Yeah.
Is he?
He wouldn't come down to Cholton, Sparrow Lane, you know, when they do the other week.
Oh, yeah, they opened that
because
train.
they wouldn't pay him.
Get away.
He still wanted a fee.
And where does he live then?
He lived at Preston, near Preston.
Preston.
Oh, of course, you know the story about he was the meanest as anything, Don. And he wouldn't get, before the war, you know, he used to charge them penny down the hill and tuppence up in his car, because you know cars weren't about. And he used to charge them penny hill.
God, I didn't know he was like that.
Right?
God, I didn't realise he was like that.
Yeah, he was like Sam. Sam was a bit of a mean bugger.
Was he? So poor old
There's a
Sam,
wartime one. Yeah. You got with Eisenhower actually.
Now, Joe Joblin, he's
Yeah,
long since gone, I suppose.
Yeah,
Joe Joblin.
yeah.
I can't recognise the bloke nearest.
Chilton, from Manchester United, centre half.
Chilton. I remember
Boy
that.
named Chilton.
Willie Robinson,
Yeah,
yes.
but he was down not long ago. He coming down from Sunderland. He's been down twice in recent years.
Oh,
Bill.
he's still
Yeah,
going.
Bill's still going.
What
Jackie Shreve, he's dead, isn't he?
Sailor.
Sailor,
Yes,
yeah.
Jackie Shreve was my next door neighbour
Yeah.
when he packed up.
Yeah, Sailor was down as well. He was down. He's up at Galston, actually.
Yes, he came from
Yeah,
there, didn't he?
yeah.
He's still going, is he?
That
Still
was me
going?
next to him then.
That's right, see you on Sam.
And Sam, and I can't remember the most. That's George Smith.
Oh, George Smith, that's right.
Yeah.
George
He
Smith.
died. He did live down in Devon when he died. Old George.
Yeah.
Nice lad, old George.
What about Chris Duffy?
Dead. Got killed in the bombing in Bangor. He ran the Bangor Hotel.
That's right, yes.
Yeah.
I know he went
Yeah.
because his wife was
His
on.
wife left him anyway, I think. He was a hell of a nice fella, but he was really dominated by his wife, you know. He lived about a few doors not from me, you know. And one funny incident, he says, I like golf and he liked golf in those days, you know. He said, you going golfing tomorrow? I said, yeah. He said, well, I'll come with you. He said, so I'll buy some knocks on his door, because you didn't have cars in those days.
No, of course not, no.
So he opened the door, he said, where are we going, Charlie? I said, bloody golf, where do you think I'm going? He said, meet her. That's to his wife. He said, Charlie's going golfing. She said, bad luck, you can't go.
She was Irish, wasn't she?
Yeah.
My goodness, that takes you back, doesn't it, these pictures? No, I wondered about Chris Duffy, whether he was...
Yeah, Chris Duffy.
Phil.
Ah, probably.
Harry.
Yeah, do you recognise any of those?
That's Archie.
Oh, hello.
Bill.
How are you?
Charlie.
Hey, Archie.
There you go, Charlie.
That's it. That was the final against Chelsea.
Oh, it's against Chelsea, that was
Yeah,
a wartime final.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
It's
Willie Robinson and
third
you.
week now.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I know. I missed
Run,
it.
isn't it?
Wait.
Yeah, we're just going to try and do an exhibition in the summer. Placed at library, museum, Greenwich Museum upstairs. Little booklet.
Don't you wish you were still playing? Do you wish you still could do it?
Well, I still play really with the kids. I still
Yeah.
play a game. I play a full game with them.
Group of about
You
18.
know, and they say sometimes it's not fair. You know.
So much more.
And you think it's 79 years
isn't it?
this year.
Yeah.
No, that's right.
Oh,
Because then a lot of the other old ones are in that one.
That's right.
In these days they wore their shorts a bit longer. Like Alec James used to play for Arsenal. He used to have his shorts.
Yeah, that's a fairly old book there. That might be interesting to read.
that's right, yes, he did, didn't he? Right down
How long was Jimmy C manager for?
Oh,
21,
was it? It was a hell of a long time, wasn't it?
I remember the manager before Jimmy, Alec was hard.
Harlem, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I used to go down there. 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 And I used to
Yeah. When did you first start going down there?
Well, when I first started school, my father was one of the. I'm looking at this 1921. My father was sort of with the club then.
Yeah.
And he used to go round with the balls when they rattled the football.
Oh yes, I know.
Yeah, he had a crippled
I
leg.
was telling them about that one.
Oh yes.
He had got shot up in the, you know, it come out in 1940 war, and he was, you know, connected with Charlton when it started.
Yeah.
And he used to walk around with the
I can't remember what match it was.
They had the loudspeakers.
Usually they're on the
Yeah.
back, aren't
That's
they?
right.
Yeah.
They had, everything was by board, wasn't it? Half-time
right,
score
yeah.
if they were playing
Yeah.
away came round.
Team changes.
Team changes, that's right.
Chalked up on the ball.
There was no way
all the way around with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about when the old sheep used to go round at half time collecting the money?
That's right, yeah.
The kids all running around with the coins that overshot them
Don't
off
throw
and
it.
short.
Mike Bailey.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
When was this taken then, this one?
What?
Oh, the last match at the Valley.
Yeah.
Oh, I was down there.
That what you're
Yeah,
looking at
that's
now, they were sold in the summertime before that started. It'd been made and funds for the club.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Yeah. You see the price, 3p.
Yeah.
I think
Well, 3 pence, and then they sort of.
No, my father was...
When they was in the Kent League, their programmes used to be a single sheet.
Malcolm Allison.
So it used to be a penny.
That's
Young
right.
And
future
then they
players.
used to, you know,
can't
16
recognise
days you never heard of a
Right,
strike.
mate, there I was.
You had a strike with another man.
Oh,
Your job was to get the ball forward, to get it in that net, about worry about tipping tapping round sideways. I said to them 2 or 3 years ago, I said the best thing you do down there is put the goals in the centre of the line. I said,
I recognise you and
They
Hales.
want to go forward. Not
Well,
keep messing
it's
about.
probably-
I can't recognise them.
Well, yeah, because a lot of them a bit later on. That's Peter Croker. That's his Ted. That's I think that's Eric Lancelot.
Oh, Eric Lancelot,
Yeah.
yes.
And that's Georgie Green. You remember Georgie?
Oh,
He's
George
77.
Green.
He's still quite fit.
Yeah,
Really?
I spoke to
Yeah.
Colin Cameron, yeah, Colin
The
Cameron.
one who plays centre
Spoke to
forward.
him.
Yeah,
Wing
he
up.
played for
Wing
Wales,
up,
and
wing
he played
up.
centre
He wants to
forward
get-
as
he
well,
wants
didn't
to
he?
get
Played
George
for
Daniels.
Wales.
That's Derek Afton with him.
Derek Hunt.
Oh, Derek
Good
Hunt.
cricketer.
Yeah.
Derek.
That's Hales, because
That's
he's
Howard.
from... Who's that? Yeah.
That one there.
My God, that's...
You remember the 2 Oaks? Did you used to
Yeah,
play
Jim
for?
and John.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jimmy Oates and John Oates. No relation, were they?
Oh, that's what's Bailey? That's what's the
Oh,
name?
Mike Bailey,
Mike
I
Bailey.
recognised, yes. Mike
That's Eric
Bailey.
Marsh.
Oh, yes, the
Yeah.
goalkeeper.
This is the boy Keanu, not what's his name? Oh, he went to South Africa. That's he most probably wouldn't know it later on. That's Charlie Hall. Chimpy.
Oh, Charlie Hook. Who is that one? This one?
That's Chimpy Brown. Eh?
Cider Brown?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's Davis. Perhaps you don't remember Davis.
Davis.
Davis, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I
remember
remember
Davis.
Davis.
And this one, I
Don't know him. He's a young man. That
played centre half. I think.
Frank
that-
Wrist, is it?
No,
no,
no.
it was Brad Blackhead.
It was either him or him played centre half one time. Went.
Paul Went.
Paul Went.
He went
Went.
to the Orient.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yes.
remember Paul Went,
Yes, he
yeah.
had to pack it in, didn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah.
Big fella.
He was the manager, went the management
Oh,
team afterwards.
He played left full back, right full back, left.
Who was
full back.
that now?
Both of these are left full backs.
Who's who's that, do you know?
Yeah.
Left
right.
full back.
Full back at the time was.
Oh dear. That was the second goal when we had that semi-final when we beat Newcastle 4-0. When we all went down with illness.
Oh, yes, that's right. They all
poisoning,
went
did
with a
they?
food
All
poisoning.
went down, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a true story, that. No doubt about that.
What happened there?
Well, food poisoning
Do you reckon there
Where,
was
where,
some-
was, where was the meal?
in the hotel. And we
That's
all went
right,
round,
yeah.
and I couldn't keep off the lavatory all morning, they couldn't. And it broke in the midday, didn't it? On I think the Standard in London broke it, you know. And I was jumping to see, who was, remember Harold Palmer? Wrote for the Evening News.
Yes, yeah.
He was the one who broke it. Oh, Jimmy Goldwyn by the scruff of his neck and his trousers, and he running threw him down the bloody steps of the hotel.
Oh, well, yes, it
He did.
It was
Yeah, bloody. So he wanted to keep it quiet. you
all
see.
publicised, that was,
You know?
yeah.
Because we was 4 up at half time, weren't we? 3 up at half time.
That's
You
right.
had the runs, didn't you?
Yeah, all the runs kept running.
Oh, that ball hadn't gone in yet.
It gone in and kicked out. That's what
Oh,
we
it's
played.
gone in and come back.
All right, this is the most strange one. I've had a young lady, she was quite old. She must have been a Charlton fan in the early days because she sent me these photographs, and you can see how old they are by the coat.
This is the cup final.
Yeah,
tour.
well, yeah, it must have been afterwards, yeah. And another one there. You can just see that's Jimmy Trotter. If you're new to
Yeah.
Jimmy Trotter,
This way, see
you
this
can
one?
see the outline of him. But
Was that second goal pipers?
Yeah.
Same day.
Same day, yeah.
And there's on one of these bits of paper is a list of everywhere you went around. You went to the reputed site of the Chippy where the birthplace of the addicts.
Yes, Westmore Street, wasn't it? I don't suppose it's still there now. It's only along the road.
Yeah, it's just out there somewhere, I think. You know, don't you, Archie?
Yeah, go to the right, I think. This is fascinating.
Him and Frank died on the same. Frankie Lock died on the same day.
Go on.
And Alex Earth died, didn't he?
And Jimmy Trotter. In fact, they all.
Jimmy Trotter is dead.
Yeah, he died on the same. They all died. They were all buried the same week. Jimmy Trotter, Tim Adilton, and Frankie Lock. I was with Frankie Lock. He was down at not long before he died, and his wife. I saw his wife at that last meeting, and she said he bought me my breakfast. And she said, "What's the matter with you?" And he said, "No, I don't feel so good this morning." He said, "I'll have a sit down." So she said, "I had my breakfast, went out, and he was dead in the chair." She said, and what funny thing, she said he was due to play football next day. He's been playing football all the way through, just a kick-about side on Sunday.
Yeah.
He was about 60. He was still playing like Tom Jenner, if anybody knows Tom Jenner.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, I think he was 77, he's still having a game or something these days.
He was in the army when he came to Charlton, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Frank Lock,
Yeah.
left back.
Yeah,
Left
very
back,
cool,
that's
good player.
Yeah, he was a nice steady back.
Yeah, beautiful, yeah. He's just fighting the life out of Sam.
Yeah.
Kick the ball.
Well, no, because if he was at the corner flag, he'd lob it back to Sam. He would. You know what, Sam? You know, he did a bloody cool ball back to him, chip the ball back to him from there. You know, an incredible man. And Sam said, "For Christ's sake, you know, don't give me any of those bloody balls." You know? And he'd be coming back and he'd volley it back. You know. He'd just turn and volley it from 30 yards back to him, you know, and he'd stay and wait him. And he used to think it was quite funny, you know. Yeah. Oh, he's a very good player. He went to Liverpool, didn't he? With Don.
You've been showing them the things we've got at the
Like,
training ground.
these two sheets, stuck them together last night.
Charlton had some very good players when they was in Kent Leeds too, a lot of these yokel chaps. I can remember a few of them. They had one, Scotty Kingsley.
I said that a minute.
I think he used to live down in Victoria Way, I think. He played outside the rights. He was Johnny Mitchell. I was telling my friend here, he was an expert on a double kick. Johnny Mitchell, and his brother Albert, he played in the forward line.
Incredible, because that three people, Billy Whittaker was the most probably the luckiest player to get a medal, Bill. But he played in the final, didn't he, Bill Whittaker?
Bill who?
Whittaker.
Oh yes, he came in for you, didn't he?
Well,
I remember a match I was down.
I think
He came in at the last minute.
He came in because Harold always went to left half when I dropped out to see if he'd be all right, and he had a cartilage. And the next batsman put Bob Wright in, and blow me, his cartilage went. So he finished up, Bill was the fourth choice.
Fourth choice, yes, he was lucky, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He died some few years ago.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah. Yes, I mean it was. But I always maintain that Duffy's goal was a fluke. I don't know whether because he scored it with his right foot, didn't he? He just swung it. But it was a beautiful goal, I must say. Never forget that.
That was a side turnout for Charlton. They was at Torquay that time in the goalie.
Yeah, right. They two rights, didn't they?
Yeah.
Harry?
Harry Wright.
Yes,
It was at
Harry.
Torquay, wasn't it?
Yeah, Torquay. He dived in, didn't he?
Yeah, hit the
Broke his neck.
Broke his neck, yes, that's right, I had it right. Yeah. He would have been a Sam Bartram.
You've
I
taken
think.
over from the other one. Favourite.
No, there's been a succession of commercial managers in about 4 years, I think, hasn't it?
So,
Are you a commercial manager? Are you?
what's happened to Bailey then?
Mike Bailey runs the Valley Club.
Oh, the Valley Club, isn't it?
Oh, he's still connected.
He runs the Valley Club.
He hasn't got that pub now, has he?
I don't think so, no.
Well, when are they coming back to the Valley then? If ever.
Someone's asked me that.
Yeah.
I'd be delighted to be able to tell you, but
So would I, yeah.
I haven't got dreams on that. All I know is the board are committed to getting the club back into the Greens area sooner rather than later. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
There's a few in the crowd there.
Trouble is the cash, isn't it? It's going to cost, whichever way they do it, it's going to cost millions.
They just banged there till they did the ball.
No, he was a good centre forward. Billington, that's it.
Look at the crowd, though.
Yeah.
It's lovely to see that old bank.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what a sight, yeah.
Well, we used to have, because in there you could tell how many was in the crowd, you know, and I think hour before the game, you could reckon, we used to have bets on how many would be there hour before the game, you know, and you always, when it went from 35,000 upwards, you did, you know, before the game, then you used to have a bet on how many would be there at the end of the game, you know, until you got your 60s and 63, 64s, you know, that's up.
So really, that's when something should have been done to build on.
Oh yeah.
To build on the future.
Yeah.
And it was those sort of crowds.
You
that
just
left,
wondered.
weren't
You
they?
just wondered. I mean, even in wartime, when you think I was saying there was 90-odd thousand at both wartime cup finals. You know, and when we played Aston Villa and North East South matches, where did the money go? Because I can honestly tell you this: that in the 4 finals I was involved with in 5 years, which Charlton were at, that was 2 war times and 2 after the war. None of them were under 90,000. Any of those cases. I got nothing for playing against the Arsenal, only me 30 bob, I think. I got 30 bob plus £2 5 for, and they were in bonds, for winning the next match against Chelsea. We got nothing for losing their one against Derby. And we got £20, and I was on the West End list with £20 for the next match. But that wasn't every player, that £20 was divided between 4 of us. So in fact I got £7.50 for playing in 4 finals.
Oh, dear, oh dear.
As you say, where did the money go?
Where the money go?
Yeah.
Crowds like that. You know?
Yes.
What match was that then? I'm sure it was now then.
There's one there.
I'm sorry, but I had books and I've only just managed to find these, but they're all gone to my grandsons and sons. So they're not, that's,
Look at the holes in the jumper though.
yeah, that's just yeah. But
There's a team photo at the training ground, isn't there? And the goalkeeper's kit, I mean, it must have been somebody else's shirt he had on. I mean, it's all over the place.
Yeah, in fact, I wish I'd have bought some up, which old ones I had, which shows you how we trained. Because I remember making an old thing when I was in the forces abroad, and when I trained in it when I got back, you know.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. I wouldn't even show it to anybody.
Is that right? They used to come round on a Friday night to see you're in bed.
Well, they did not so much there, but they did at Spurs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they checked on him at Spurs.
Right.
But I didn't live over there.
Oh, you played for Gravesend, didn't you?
Well, I played for North, but we always trained at Tottenham. But I played for reserves at Tottenham as well.
Oh,
so
I see,
it
yes.
made no difference. But the Tottenham, my first wage at Tottenham was £3 for winter and £2.50 summer. You see, and they paid me 10 bob for travelling expenses on me £3 winter one. See, so next year they give me a rise. They didn't pay me any expenses. They gave me £3.50. No expenses next year. Just took it away from me.
God dear, oh dear.
When, for away matches, you always went on by train, did you?
Mostly, yeah.
What would you do? Would you meet up at the mainline
I
station?
can't see my half time where
Yeah,
I
met
was.
up,
That's
you
on the
met up
sideline.
by the valley or
I think he used to stand behind the
No, we used to go by
I
coach to
used
the
to be
valley
by the goal,
and
by the
then to train.
uncovered end.
Yeah.
Just to the right of goal.
That was the year that
when I
Blackpool
was
won
down there,
won the
like,
team.
in the
We
early
lost
days,
the replay.
they
What's
never
that home match
at the
there?
other end either.
I don't know whether
Just the
anybody
mates
was here
there.
when that was played.
Yeah. Where was that? Yeah.
The 2 fullbacks there were myself and Peter, and Frankie played outside left. And we drew 2-2 at home. Who do you think scored the 2 goals? Hey?
Not there to go.
No, our 2 goals.
You did.
No, the 2 fullbacks. Peter Crowe got the first and I got the second. And we was winning 2-1 right into injury time. And they had a corner. This is how it just shows you how lucky you've got to be in to win this cup.
Yeah.
And the right winger took it, Stanley Matthews took it, and it's coming. I stood at the near post, where all fullbacks in those days took the near post. And it's coming to me, so Sam said, "Leave it, Charlie," you see. And I left it, and he hit me around the bloody ear with the ball, and it dropped down, and Mortensen hit it, and it went in the net. And the whistle went, and it was a big inquiry as to whether it went in the net before the
whistle.
Before he went, you know. And that shows, if I'd have headed it, if it left me headed, Blackpool would have never won the cup that year.
No,
You know
it
what
just
I mean?
shows you. It's just, yeah.
And I don't remember the year we won it or went to the final. We played Blackburn. You know,
Yes, Blackburn.
And it was 0-0.
1-0,
It was
wasn't it?
0-0, 3
Yes.
minutes to go, or 4 minutes to go, I think it was. And the ball was pushed through, and Sam went out the edge of the box to collect it, and he must have been watching the man, because it went straight through his bloody legs. This is true. And the outside right come running in, nobody there, because everybody was outside the box. And Sam had gone through, you see. And he side put it and hit the side netting. He took a quick one. He took a quick one to me, Sam, and I hit a long ball to Gordon Earth, who raced down the wing and crossed it. I think Dawson netted it in.
Yes, I
and we
see
won
that.
1-0.
Yeah, right near the end. Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
That's the
Yeah,
breaks you need, though. The winning
Yeah,
that's what you
And
need.
it
isn't
shows
it?
that,
It's luck.
you know,
You've got to have the luck.
yeah, you've got to have luck with
Yeah.
it.
That's right. I remember Tommy Dawson scoring that goal in the roof of the net.
That's a lucky one. When at Hobbiesburn, I think they were playing West Ham over West Ham. He scored direct from the corner, wasn't it? I think that was a game.
Yeah.
I was over there, but with such a crowd, and
Yes,
you
he
couldn't
used
see
to
what
be.
happened properly.
Used to blow his nose
Because he
all over the
got
place,
he
didn't he?
got a nice swerve. He could put. I don't know how he managed it. Granny Hobbies, they called it. His old waddle.
another one
Yeah,
there.
he used to be good on corners. He used to put that, get that swerve on the ball. He used
That
to be
was
going
at Aston
out,
Villa,
and then he
that one.
suddenly stopped and.
Yeah.
But to score a goal from a corner is one of his talent.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I can
Well,
check
scored from the corner, but you've got to...
Yeah.
Charlton's average league home attendance was 40,000. Good Lord.
Was it like that when he went to other teams?
What?
Were there big crowds?
Yeah,
all over
oh,
the place?
yeah. Everywhere.
But I don't think football will ever command that
Oh, no.
sort of attention.
No.
Even
I
if
think-
other letter
Oh,
They've
leisure
got
access
other
to, you know,
things,
leisure,
yes.
golf and whatnot, I don't know how people taking it up.
But in those days, you worked hard.
And I was a Sheffield Wednesday fanatic, and I went to, I had a match up for a minor game I was playing in when I was about 14, 15, and I went because the Sheffield Wednesday were playing at Highbury, and that was the only other game I ever saw before I played football. You know, I mean, where I worked at Callan, if they Cholton had an evening match, I mean, they were down and they were off, even in that era, you know, when I was saying in the early 30s.
Yeah.
They were, you know, they were always up the valley, so the gates must have been quite high then,
Yeah.
in those days even.
We used to play the
Yeah.
Cannons, we used to play against
In fact, I got a photograph of you know, me and, I didn't bring it, it's in the home somewhere, a little card ours actually used to producing that. And I was only 15, and I was in the Spartan League we played, you know, those days. Yeah. And I can always remember we were in a cup run, and Callan sent us down to Southend for a week and gave us £10 to spend. I know, I was about 15. I thought I was a millionaire in those days. Yeah, in a big hotel with £10 in my pocket for the week.
God, it's a fortune.
Yeah, and they used to train in those days. Like Tuesday and Thursday afternoon, you didn't work, you went out and trained.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were night work on Friday night, you didn't go to night work. You know, even the calendars, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, like they had all the bands people there, they got paid, same type of thing, really. And you know, if you was ever in trouble there, I mean, none of the old foremen and them would have a go at you because there was Hills and there was a manager there, and I think Sir Charles Pepkin was always with the team on Saturday. They wouldn't fear of upsetting
the
We used to
team,
play
yeah,
against them
that's
in
right.
CMA Cup calendars. Remember the CMA Cable Makers
Cable
Association?
Makers, yeah.
We used to play with Johnson Phillips.
Johnson Phillips, yeah.
We was in the London Business House.
Hello.
It was much higher league than what we were.
Hello, Percy.
Dan.
Good morning.
There's another one there you can see a clear view. You can only just about see me in that view, but that's George Smith who was out at Winter Valley. He's gone to Brentford, but you see again the crowd. You know.
No, go on. Come,
I don't know the idea of the crowds up there.
Oh, it's a next old mate, shall I see?
Yes.
Oh.
And there's a match.
Manchester Charlton versus Manchester United.
There's a match just after the war against Racing Club de Paris.
That's over there, was it?
Yeah. I know what most of it.
Did you get many overseas tours?
Well, I did that. Played quite a lot. That was an extraordinary match because we were losing 3-0 half time, and it was the first time we'd ever come against body checking.
Yeah.
We'd never experienced it in our lives, you know. And we went in at half time, and Don Welsh, you know, he said, "You've seen what they've done to you." You know, he said, "Now let's go out and do the same to him," and we finished up winning 5-3. Yeah.
So I know a few matches like that in that time, haven't there?
Well,
Did you play the Huddersfield match?
That was 6-5 when that was in Jimmy Watson, wasn't it? Like the 5 or 6 goals, wasn't it? We went, I'll tell you funny, we went to Stockholm just after the war, Sweden,
Yeah.
and we played IIK in Stockholm, and this is no kidding, we were, oh dear, what was it, 7-1 up I think, or 6-1 up or something, and the second half started and a few of them started having a go and it finished up I think 6-all if you were getting the same of it, you know.
Don't you wish you were playing now with the wages they get?
Good.
I don't think. Money's all right, I suppose. In those days, you didn't think of money as money. I don't think it's like people think of money today.
Yeah.
I mean, the money seems to be the all
The
in
main,
Bible.
yes,
So,
that's right.
but I mean, several times in my life, I could have gone into business with people and been far better off than I am today.
Yeah.
You know, but the feel still pulls me.
That's
It
right.
didn't
the
make me through a
danger-
ball in this room now.
Yeah.
The feeling is still the same as when I was 14 or 15.
Yeah.
You know, whether that's with everybody, I don't know, or just with me.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. And I cannot understand children who can play football, who don't want to learn anything.
No. No.
You know? I mean, it's very difficult at school. I think it's the hardest thing in the world to teach schoolboys. And everybody says, oh, they're keen. They are so keen, they want the game, but they don't know what goes with it. And whether being brought up at Tottenham, you were made to do these things, you know. If I couldn't cross the ball onto Freddie Cox's head, you know, 9 times out of 10, I'd be back in the evening.
Yeah.
You know, I had no option.
Yeah.
You know, and we used to go into the shooting box for a half an hour on spells, and it was in a diagonal wood, about as big as this room, possibly 30 yards long, and you hit balls, left foot, right foot against here, you know. And if he thought you hadn't performed it well enough to train would stand there, you'd be back again.
Yeah.
You know, but I watched pros train again, and the training is all completely different. You never see many good crosses of a ball today. You know, with somebody wingers or fullbacks.
Yeah.
You know, when I watch Stevens play, I think, Christ, how did this fellow ever get in the England side? You know, I mean, I saw him play against Israel. Did you see Israel? Now, if a man's coming through to the halfway with the ball, you know, and he's running with the ball. Your man's like there. Now Stevens is watching this man with the ball. He's here. The fellow put the ball past him, and this fellow, his left winger should have scored. You remember it?
Yeah.
I mean, you was always taught at Tottenham that when somebody got the ball, or even 70% chance of getting that ball, you look for that man and you look for the ball, so you could see the ball and you could see your man, and your man had to be on the outside of you. And you were running back. Not Stevens, he stands like this, he's watching that man with the ball, there's his man, he ran on, the ball was put past him, no chance. And you look for him again and think, there's Stevens, there's his man, Stevens is on the outside, his winger's on the inside.
Yeah.
You know, it's all wrong.
Yeah.
You know, and you think, and I think it was against somebody, you might remember this match, when a ball came right from the left corner flag as you look down the wing. And I looked for Stevens, this ball was hit up the middle, we had past Butcher, and somebody ran through and scored. And I looked for Stevens, and he was only 30 yards from the right corner flag. Whereas, you know, there's the pitch.
Yeah.
Stevens is over here, the ball's come through here, Stevens is still over here, you know. Well, there's no real danger. Once they get possession of the ball, I mean, the danger then is going to come through the middle, you know, as you look. So you forget about your winger, because even if he gives you the ball over there, he's never going to score from there. It still gives everybody a chance to kind of funnel back. But they don't seem to work at this thing. And then, again, if you watch football, they don't mark the corners from the inside of the post, from corners, from, you know, corner kicks. And you watch how many goals go in.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
think, well, Christ, in my days, I'd have had that.
Yeah.
Even if I can't play football, I'd have got that one away.
Yeah, there always used
You
to
know?
be a player inside the
Yeah.
post, didn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. The near post.
And at the time you think, well, Christ almighty, don't anybody tell them anything.
Yeah.
Talking about that, I thing that I can remember with Marvellous was that Stanley Matthews, with his understanding with Mortensen.
Oh, well,
He'd run that ball, they couldn't stop Matthews. He was so...
No.
I lived
I
with
mean, it
Stan.
didn't take a lot of room to do it, and then
Yeah.
right at the precise moment, 2 or 3 of the defenders have gone out to sidestop him, it's over, and there's Mortensen banging in there.
I played with Stan at Blackpool in wartime, and I lived with him. I was billeted with him in his house, Stan Stanley. And all you had to do was give the ball to Stan. You didn't have to pass it at all. You had little boy Taylor used to run it out to him, give it to him, and then run away and leave him.
Yeah, he was clever, wasn't
He
he?
didn't want it in. He wouldn't run for it.
Years ago.
No, he wouldn't run. If you put a ball, if you put a ball down the corner bag, you can go for it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't run for it.
Yeah.
Used to, little Taylor, Ernie Taylor, good little player. Yeah, get it, take it out, get 2 or 3 yards, give it to him, and run away and leave him.
He was clever, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And Finney was another good outsider.
Oh, yeah. I think, yeah.
Tom Finney.
He was more direct, Tom. Than,
Yeah.
But they all said Stanley couldn't shoot with his left foot. But who saw Czechoslovakia play England? Spurs. He scored a hat-trick that day, and one of them was his left foot from about 30-yard out. And they said he can't kick with his left foot. But he liked to go right, didn't he?
There was a story about him possibly joining Cheltenham one time, wasn't he, Stan?
I always remember when we were struggling for points at Cheltenham. I said to him, Stan, I said, give us the points at Charlie. He said, you give me the pounds and you can have them. That was another one that was sent by that girl. I don't know who she was, but she said, they weren't very plain actually.
Phipps was a good one.
It's a similar one, that actually.
Another one.
Another great asset to Cheltenham down there was that R.A. bag.
Oh, there's one that she's took an all. That was the mob suits on there. And that was a little, opposite the pub, there used to be a little cafe there, I think, if anybody remembers. As you come down there onto the main road, there's a pub on the corner, was it?
What in Charlton, you mean? Or Valley?
Yeah.
Angus.
Obviously it used to be a little cafe. That was taken.
Oh, yes,
that
I
was
know.
taken,
Yes.
Yeah.
They was an asset to Cheltenham, wasn't they, on the big match day? Was that R.A. band?
Yeah, that was the attraction. A lot of people want it. I'm sure it did.
You might be interested in those
Well, they
type
used
of
to get
things.
that trumpeter. They used to go up on the top of the cliff there and play the echo on there.
Opposite Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah. They used to get some good things. And Dagenham Girl
He was the
Party.
only man I knew that could get into Wembley without paying a ticket.
Yeah, there's some. I got in Wembley without a ticket.
It was through him I learned how to get into Wembley without a ticket.
I got in without a ticket.
Well, I did, and not only that. I'll tell you where I finished. I finished on the actual field itself. I never nothing. It was England amateurs playing, England and Scotland amateurs playing up, and we were looking for. I forget the left full back now. He went to Leighton Orient. He went to Stan something. He went from Leighton Orient to the Arsenal. Stan, what was his name?
Oh.
And he was a good fullback, and I was that's it, Stan Charlton.
Stan Charlton.
I was scouting for Charlton for Derby then, and they said, "Well, can you get this fella to come to us?" I said, "He's a good player." So I said, "Well, he's playing at Wembley on Saturday." So Charlie Fuller played centre half for Belvedere. He played for England. You see, so I saw him get out of the bus, and I walked in with him. You see, so I said, "I'll go have a word with Stan." He said, "Christ, you'll have to come out on the field with us, Charlie." So I walked out on the field with him, and I'm in the middle of the field negotiating with Stan Charlton. It's a true story. Will he come to Derby? But he didn't. Eventually, he didn't come to Derby, and he had a terrible match, an awful match, Yeah. And Stuart McMillan, who was the Derby manager, he was up in the stands, and he said, "You wasting my bloody time coming and seeing that fella." I said, "We just had a bad day." I said, "But he is a good player. He was in the army up on the hill."
Oh yes.
And because he went to Leighton and he went to the Arsenal and he was a good player. But he just had that bloody bad day.
They all get
bad
days.
Well, I mean,
Yes. Yeah.
Kevin Keegan could have been at Cheltenham well before he ever went to Liverpool. Because I went to Brentford to watch Kevin play for Scunthorpe against Brentford, and Gordon Jago was there with the old fellow who was runs at which Gregory is it who was the boss over at Queen's Park. Gregory. And I sat next to him in the stand, and Keegan was playing. And I said, "I'm a bloody good player, you see." So after time, Gordon Jago and Gregory said, "What do you think of this Keegan fellow?" I said, "Bloody awful." So isn't it too small? Never said he can't even bloody kick a ball at times, So I wrote me and said, "I've got a book at home where I wrote and said, offer him 10,000. And 10,000 was a lot of money, back quite a bit, 10,000? He said, "No, bloody likely, because they wouldn't pay anything, So I said, "Oh."
Well, you were scouting for Cheltenham at the time.
Who was the manager then? I suppose it was.
Well, that's a bloody management, I can't think.
Yeah, it's a management.
What year would that be?
When he came from, if you could say it back, you could go back, was when he was at Scunthorpe, and it was 18 months before he went to Liverpool.
It's probably early 70s.
Yeah.
Frank Hill? No. After that.
Was it Stokey?
Jimmy Trot?
Stoko.
Bob Stoko. Could be Bob
Or
Stoko.
Foley.
No, well, Foley was even bloody worse. I had another one I took to him in the bloody. No, it wasn't for mine.
Must be
No.
Stoke.
Well, I'll tell you, it was a big bloke. He used to play for
Stokey, Newcastle.
Gillingham.
Oh,
Oh, Andy Nelson.
No,
Andy Nelson.
might have been in, no, I don't know, was it? I can't remember.
Too early for him.
But they could have had him for 10,000 because he went to Liverpool 18 months later for 25,000. And I saw another boy who was playing for Corby Town, and I just forget. I must be getting old now, but you do.
You do know.
You have to try to draw on reserve sometimes. He'll do eventually come back. But you most probably remember him. He went to, I think he's at Wrexham, Dixie Neal. Well, he was at Corby, and he scored 70 goals that year for Corby Town. And I saw him at Ashford at the end of the year, and he was brilliant, bloody brilliant. And a fellow, I forget who the scout was, down at Cholton, Leslie Gore. And I was talking to one of the directors who I knew, because his son was over at Crystal Palace. He said, "What do you think, Charlie?" I said, "I'd like this bloody centre forward. I'd give anything, 5,000 for him." Next to him, it's bloody Cholton offer 5,000 for, for this Dixie Neal, you see. So Les called me on the phone. "What the bloody hell, you offer 5,000 for a Southern League player?" I said, "I didn't offer 5,000 for a Southern League player, but I said he's worth 5,000.
McNeil, isn't it?
McNeil, yeah.
Dixie Neal,
You know.
He went
McNeil.
out and scored hundreds of goals. Didn't he?
Yeah, I said, "But the fella's a goal scorer."
Isn't he their manager now?
Yeah, he's at Wrexham.
I think he's their manager.
Yeah. And there was another one he could have. Yeah. And there was another one after him, Davis, who went to Manchester United and Southampton. He was at Chester. But I wasn't scouting for the Cheltenham, I was scouting for
You're Ron Davis.
yeah, Ron Davis. I was scouting for Palace. And I went with Jimmy Logie down to Aldershot to watch him play for Chester. He was on the field, £2,000 he was. And just showed him he was a young lad then. And Jimmy said, "What do you think, Charlie?" I said, no, can't play on the floor at all, And I went back and I rang up Dick Graham, who was at Palace, and he took over my front. I said, "Dick, for Christ's sake, get this fella, offer him 5,000 or 10,000 if you like." So he said, "No, I'm going to sign a fellow from Aldershot, Clayton Orient tonight, and he's playing in their reserves." I said, "Well," he said, "I said, how much for? 4,000. I said, "For Christ's sake, he's playing at Mansfield on the Tuesday night. Go and watch him." "No," he said, "I can't go there." He got Mansfield on Tuesday night, he gets a hat-trick, Ron Davis, By the weekend, he's 20,000, hasn't he? He's gone from 2,000 to 20,000.
It's gone up.
Yeah, another couple on the Saturday, and somebody else, I think Luton paid the first fee for him, 70,000. And then I say no. But that's the type of thing. So eventually I packed up scouting with Cholton because it was wasting me bloody time. I went to Mansfield. It was John. What his name? There was two boys of Willie's boys. One became captain of the side. You might remember him, a young lad. And his other, who was just trying. John.
Recent
John what's name?
the Kimball.
No, young lad. Not Peter Reeves. Peter Reeves.
Oh, Peter Reeves, yes.
And he had another mate with him, that's John something, who they both came from Bloomfield School. And John got pushed that year, and he went to Mansfield. And I met him, so I said, "Anything up there?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "There's a centre half up there, an inside forward, bloody good," he said. So I thought, "I'll come up," so he can give me a lift. So I went up with him. Sam Weaver was in charge up there, so he said, "Well, what do you want for these two, Charlie?" He said, "You have both of them." He said, "In fact, you can have the other boy who's got a good pay." He said, "There's three of them for 10,000. So it just shows you how cheap things are going. So I said, "Well," I sent him this. I said, "He'll give you 3 players here for 10,000. He said, "No, not third division chair, not going to pay that money for them." Well, I'll tell you the case I remember the centre half named Bunn.
Stuart
Bunn. He was the centre half.
Middlesbrough.
Yeah, he was the centre half. So I said, so he said, "I'll send somebody else on Saturday." So we'll send somebody else. So the fellow said, "Yeah, centre half and the inside forward, He said, "Yeah, take those two." He said, "They're worth bloody 10,000. Without the other one, we can take and get them away for nothing anyway." No, I couldn't take them, because a year later, Cyril went to Middlesbrough for 40,000. The inside forward because he came to Cholton eventually from Leicester. And I just can't forget his name. But he went to Leicester for 40,000. And the other boy went to some other division for 20,000. All a year later. That's.
Bloke, he ended up at Cholton, did he?
He came to Cholton a long time after he'd finished all his
after.
football career. No, he was inside forward. But I just can't remember.
Leicester.
No, he came from Leicester. Lenny Glover went to Leicester.
Lenny Glover went to Leicester.
The other one, Appleton and I remember they made Appleton captain.
But the other boy who came and did quite well from Cheltenham for a long while, they could have, outside right he was, came, I just can't remember his name, he was quite Powell.
Colin Powell.
Now I saw Colin Powell,
Plays here.
I saw him Colin play when he was 17 years old against Motherwell at Stevenage, you know, and he played against Jim Langley. That was Jimmy Langley. He played against Jim. I spoke to Jim Langley. He said, "Charlie's a brilliant, this kid." And Jim was there watching him scan as well. And he said he's played against me. And he said he ran rings round, mate. And he ran rings round bloody black for the Motherwell. And I said to Les Gore, you know, this fellow, good player, Les. I said, yeah. I was talking to George Curtis was there because George started at Margate. He was an Arsenal player, but he started at Margate at the same time as I started in Northley. So I said, what do you want from him, George? He said, you can have him for 1,000 a month trial, Charlie. If you take him, you pay us 1,000. I said to Les, I said, that's a bloody good buy. It's only 70 years of age. I said, I'm paying £1,000 for him, you see. So I said, he said, anyway, he's yellow. I said, and so was Tom Finney.
I think that was
so was
Colin Powell was the biggest cow.
Yeah, I said,
player.
I said, so was Tom Finney. So was Stanley
But he
Matthews.
came in a bit late.
When it came to that type, they didn't want to know. They were
Should have
jumpers.
come in before
you know.
he did.
Yeah,
So-
Colin Powell plays for the Matchagast Sunday mornings for the veterans.
And he kept sending me to this bloody place.
Come up
You
there
know.
and shopping.
And I give up in the end. I go, so he went to Barnet, didn't he?
Yeah,
We got him for 10,000.
He went to Barnet.
yes, he was. Yeah, yeah.
So
And,
I don't know who was in charge down there. It was a fellow who went to
they
Fulham.
used to be behind
Right,
that,
no.
and all of a sudden,
In charge of your job.
out.
Commercial.
Don't know what happened, but they were out.
He said to Les one day, on this, he said, how do you know Charlie Revell goes to these football matches? You know, have you checked up on him? You see? So I said, well, I'll send you a bloody programme. I can't bloody well get a, you know, with my expenses on it, you know. And this is true, this is. I don't care if you told him to listen to it tomorrow because it was the truth. I went to Barnet, sent me to Barnet again to watch Powell. Well, I knew Colin, you know, I knew him 5 or 6 years before we ever went there. So I watched the match, and before the match I got into the crowd, and who should I see? Leslie Gore. Looking for me, you see. So I didn't, I got myself in the way, but I saw him cut empty my way, I went round and got out of the way and hid myself, you see. I phoned up next day, I said, what do you think? I said, well, I said you can take this kid, he'll do your turn. I said, we'd be better if you took him 5 years ago, but he would still play a game for you. I said, where'd you go? Oh, he said, I went down to Margate. You see? So I left it. But, you know, he was checking up on me. You see, it was my bloody expenses were about £1 or something like that. But, you know, the stories you could tell about football, I mean...
Colin Powell made Derek Hales, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, without Colin, Derek didn't do anything, did he?
Well, Flanagan, Mike Flanagan, they played well together.
They
didn't
were, but
Till they had
the
a
goals
fight on the
that
field.
Powell made
Yeah.
for Derek Hales.
The fight on the field.
Yeah.
Because he could cross a ball.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He could cross it.
And
And he could go round them too. When he was, you would imagine if he'd have taken him at 17. I mean, he would have. I mean, a lot of his bad habits would have been out before he was 20. By the time he got to 20, he still hadn't got out of some of the bad habits.
We've never really replaced Colin Powell.
It was a similar player to Howard Roberts, really.
Yeah.
Same style, you know, he could go around anyone and centre the ball.
he was faster than Hobbes.
I don't know, Hobbes was pretty fast. After he blew his nose.
Blew his nose. All the old people, I play golf for, and most of the people I play golf with, about 70 of them, most of them are Cheltenham fanatics.
Yeah.
You know, and they all go, Howard Roberts, the first thing they do about Howard Roberts.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I lived at Eltham at the time, and I had a couple of brothers. We used to always walk down there at holiday time, calling Fox Under the Hill going home. And after the match, old Hobbes always used to come in there with a couple of players and that, like, you know, have a drink.
You know, incredible, our Cheltenham, you know, how stupid they were down there, the people that run that place. Do you know they sent me to watch once, and he'd only been injured, he'd been out the side, to see how he was playing. Terry Cooper. Now, Terry Cooper would have cost them at that time about 70, 80,000 if they could have bought him.
What stage in his career was that?
Huh?
What stage in his
No, he was right on the top of his career.
When he was playing
So they sent me all the way up to Leeds to watch Terry Cooper play. So I got a programme and sat in the stand for about 10 minutes and went home. Well, I want to watch Terry Cooper. I mean, they wouldn't pay, it wouldn't buy him anyway. You know? But that's the type of thing that
There's been some terrible mismanagement.
Listen to all this.
Oh no, there has. There's been colossal areas of management, I think, over the years.
Wasn't one of the biggest when Trotter took over from C?
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Wasn't that a big-
Yeah.
He was out miles out of his depth.
That's a little bit before my time.
They were miles out.
Yeah.
I mean, Crystal Palace still owed me £80. You know, it was a time when Bert Head took over from Dick Graham, and Dick, you know, I had no contract, but and I realised now afterwards it wouldn't have made no deal. As long as I had something in oral, I could have got it paid. And I went up to Middlesbrough to watch Middlesbrough. I was assessing the teams we were due to play, and so I had to leave early morning, get up to Darlington. You know, if you've ever been up that way, changes, you know. And I worked it out. I had to leave 10 minutes before the game, so I wouldn't go home at night. You know, and so I put him in normal bill. That was £2 of expenses, and now Heady, Arthur Rowe, come in to me. He said, "Oh, Mr. Head said you're overcharging on the expenses." You know, I said, "But Christ, I've been out all day. I've been on the train. I've had 16 bob on the train, and I think about the rest of it was a drink and a tip, paying £1, you know." I said, he said, "Couldn't you take some sandwiches, huh?" And he spent, in this period of time, he spent nearly 900,000 on players. He couldn't pay more. I said, "I ain't taking no bloody sandwiches up to what's name there." And see, so he sacked me.
Yeah.
See, so I said, "Well, where's my money?" He said, "You haven't got no contract." So I moved to Cheltenham and I went over to watch Chelsea reserves, and I know Dickie Attenborough well. And Dickie was in the boardroom and I was in there. So he said, "How are you keeping, Charlie?" I said, "All right." I said, "But Hedden and the other fellow, Wade, who ran the place, ran it." I said, "I'm all right," but I said, "Those two owed me £80. But in their face. I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, I got a contract." I said, "I didn't have a contract, but I had an agreement that they would pay me so much a week." And I said, "They sacked me now." I said, "Well, he owes me £80. He never got it. I never got it. And he said, and I think I had to go and watch them play in the week. And I thought, well, they must stop me going in. But I suppose they thought, well, we better not. Obviously, I'll kick up the stink. And, you know, that type of thing.
I first started watching when I was 6. That was in the, I think, the early 60s. At 63 I started watching. Tottenham and Haydock and players like Peter Wakeham and Mike Rose and Eddie Fermani, those sort of things.
Yeah, well, they came to see most of those. Well, Eddie and Stuart was still playing, wasn't he? Stuart was still playing. They had 10 South Africans all together, didn't they?
Yeah. 10.
There was 10, yeah.
Well, the worst one must have been Cliff Durant.
Who?
Cliff Durant, remember him?
Oh,
Big
Durant.
Durant. A little slot
yeah.
sort of player.
No, the worst one was Kirsten.
Polly Kirsten, I think.
Polly Kirsten. He never made it, did he really?
No. But you had Utenberg and who did a little bit, but didn't. He was at the wrong time. He was like Colin. He was like Sam and Obbins. The only time Obbins got in the Cheltenham first team was when we were playing Manchester United. If you look at his record, don't blame me, look at them. Because Sam wouldn't go to Manchester United. Because he always got 5 stuck against him. And poor old Obbins went there 3 times and got beaten 5-0 each time. And then he wouldn't go. Sam wouldn't go to Manchester United. Benny wouldn't go to Portsmouth and Birmingham. You could bet your life at Ben would have a Benny Fenton. A bloody leg. What's the matter? Bloody, I got it, you know.
He was a real comedian.
Why was that then?
Hey? This bloody schooler was down here, wasn't he? Kicking the pieces, you see, in those days.
They had him at Cheltenham.
And at the Tommy Berry up at Birmingham would kick your life out of Benny. I mean, he used to go, I'll have to get hold of Benny. And so, running on his
Who was that in Birmingham?
He come to Cheltenham, didn't he? Scowler and a finish. Didn't he come to Cheltenham?
No,
Scowler or the other?
Setters came to
Setters.
Oh, Morris Setters had a short spell.
They were similar players, weren't they?
I mean, he was the biggest comedian ever, when Ben. Do you know how he became captain, do you? Do you know the story? I'll tell you the story how he became captain. I was captain for a long time. And I got injured and I was out. And Frankie Locke took over while I was out. And Frank was a boy who didn't like to be captain anyway, you know. The sooner he could get rid of the bloody job, the better. He was a happy-go-lucky kind of. So Benny could never get to the ground early. He was always, "Sorry, boss, the bloody tunnel was full up, you know." And so Jimmy called me and he said, "But I want you to go back to captain again." I said, "Well, you can have that on. I've had enough of that, you know." So he said, "Who can I make then, Charlie?" He said, "Stan, no." I always said to him, "No." Well, he said, "There's only one left. It'd have to be Benny." You know, this is how Benny became captain, you see. So he said, Benny captain, you see. This is true, as I was saying, because Trotter in the way done his nut. Because Benny was at 8 o'clock this morning. He was in the office with Jimmy, and for every morning while he was captain, he was always in at 8 o'clock in the morning. He got through, and because Jimmy Trotter liked to get in as well with him, because whenever he went in, Benny was with the boss, you know. And so those two were at it then from them onwards, because Benny suddenly was able to get to the tunnel early, you know. But they were him and Brownie, I think. You know, remember Tommy? They were the two biggest conners in the world. Those two, both comedians. Yeah, both comedians.
He turned out to be a good captain, didn't he, Benny?
Oh yeah.
You know,
But Tommy, I mean,
corner kicks.
Tommy Brown was a, you know, he was a Charlotte, really, and a lovable person, most likeable rogue you'd ever met in your life. You know, he used to come in, especially with Scotland were down in London, and the FA used to come in, and all the young ones used to go around and say, look, because then days there was only about 18 tickets. They used to put your name in the hat. If you get a ticket for a cup final, if I get one, you can have it. If you get a Scott one, I'll give it. All right, and don't tell anybody. He used to go all around the youngsters. And he used to go back in the office to George, it's the secretary. He said, George, don't put me in the drawers, will you? So what? He most probably finished up with about 6 blooming blue tickets. What he got, and he didn't have to give a name because nobody knew he wasn't even in the draw for the cup final.
Yeah, he used to get injured a lot, didn't he?
Oh,
He was always in and out.
It's only because he was, you know, he was always having it off the night before, you know. Because Jimmy tried to open the telegram in there, and it says Friday night, it says Friday morning. There was a telegram delivered, and it said opening it quickly. He thought it might report. It says, "See you tonight at Savoy Hotel, love Sessing." You know, we only got a bloody match on the next day, haven't we? You know, found a cup match the next day or something like that. You know, and it was Tommy. You know,
I reckon some of them played better when they had it off the night.
There's another Scotch player, you know, very similar to Alec McRae. Wasn't they? They were a double, weren't they?
But not in the same way.
No, not the same personality.
I mean, they'd go into a hotel and they'd get on the snooker table with Tommy and Brown, £10, you know, right, £20 or nothing, you know, £30 or nothing, you see, and they'd spend the whole evening, you see, and nobody wouldn't get a game. Watching this fanatic game, these two. And when I get right in the room, Charlie said, he said, he said, I'll go back to spinning, that's weird, just said that, so we can keep the table for you. So nobody got a game, they just at the bottom of the table.
I've got to shoot off in a minute.
Yeah.
I don't think this is super, but just ask, do any of you come to Selhurst Park? You don't?
No, I've been there 3 times.
Yeah.
Last time on this Boxing Day, actually.
Right, I'll ask you another question. If we went back to the valley, would you come back?
Oh yes,
yes.
I would.
Oh, I think many of you, because I mean,
You were there every week.
You would,
yes.
I mean, I'm